When did you begin teaching? When did you come from?
Started teaching at Lowell High School in 1996. 1986, 1985, I was here in another capacity at elementary school, but was elected to a position in 86. 86 is when I started my career at Lowell High School.
Okay.
I had previously done a few years up at the Greater Lowell Vocational School.
Okay. What did you do there?
I taught English primarily. And then here I came in as an ESL teacher. That was with a great influx of Southeast Asian students, primarily Cambodians, coming from the camps, Kawi Dan, Panatnakom, along the Thai border during the Great Flight, from the Khmer Rouge.
Where did you go to school?
In Lowell.
In Lowell?
Yeah, I went to St. Patrick's School.
And then college?
College, went to Loyola.
To Loyola?
Loyola, Montreal.
When did you decide that you wanted to become a teacher?
Well, I had a number of different professions over the years. I was working the building trades, union building trades. And what would happen is in the wintertime when I'd get laid off because of the bad weather, I would substitute teach. And I always remembered back to the days when I was substituting. Sometimes it would be, day-to-day subbing. Sometimes it would be short-term subbing to cover leave of absence or whatever. And I made that decision that I'd go into education, and that brought me back to Lowell after having taught for a while at the vocational school. I've always either lived or worked in Lowell.
What was it like teaching at Lowell?
I thought it was great. The newcomers were terrific. There was a lot to learn. I was part of a group back then called the Cultural Awareness Group, where we volunteered at the time to try to know the culture, the Southeast Asian customs and so on, and particularly Cambodian. So we ended up being an independent group of teachers that worked on professional development to try to find out as much as we possibly could about the kids that were coming here and what their needs were, the cultural differences, and so on, so better prepared to educate these students. So it took a lot of learning. There was a lot of learning. At the time, the Lowell Sun had run a series, a really good series, I think, on the newcomers coming in and where they came from, particularly the camps in Thailand, that were the refugee camps that were the staging areas, where these kids then went to the Philippines, and from the Philippines back over to the United States. Back in 1988, the decision was made, the school committee, apparently back then, of course I was not in the higher echelons, I was not on the negotiating team, I had nothing to do with these things. But apparently they, after the 3-day strike, the strike was for a sizable salary increase, and we needed it because we were way we were at the bottom of the list when it came to salaries. And we went out for a three-year deal and came back with a 2-year deal. And very similar to what we had gone on strike for, except the last form of this gave senior people a little bit more money at the expense of all the junior people.